fall in love. The prince just kissed the sleeping princess and poof, he's in love. Well, if that's all it takes to fall in love, look out, Darian, my lips and I are coming after you.
Moon Podcast Escalation! Everyone, my name is Jordan D. White.
My name is Chris Sims, and this is Sailor Business. It's the podcast where we sit down with a friend each and every week and watch an episode of the classic 1992 Sailor Moon anime and talk about just why it is that we love it so much. And we are over the horizon of the Doomtree Saga. The worst of it is behind us.
Yeah, how many we have left? Like 4 or something like that?
Not many.
I think
but
we
yes.
said 60 was the first Rini, so we're on 55.
This is 56.
56.
If you're
sorry.
watching along, it is Sailor Moon R, episode 56. Steal a Kiss from Mamoru. Again, no thank you. And Project Snow White.
Terrible. Anyway.
If only it was Steal a Kiss from Motoki.
Also,
a Kiss from Andrew.
No. Also known as Mirror, Mirror on the Wall.
And to help us talk about that, we are welcoming back to the show for her 4th episode, Donna Dickens. Welcome back.
Hey guys, thank you for having me back after last week.
We did have to have a talk. We had to have a staff meeting. I didn't want to call anyone specifically out, so it was all staff. It was me, Jordan, and you.
Someone keeps talking about dragon dicks.
Jordan!
What? Oh, sorry.
We are like 4 minutes into the episode. We're like 2 minutes into the episode. It just dropped out on people. Jordan, there are kids who listen to this.
First of all, that's true. There are kids who listen to this, but they already heard last episode. And second of all, it's not like once you get 5 minutes. What the safe harbor zone is like after the first 5 minutes of the podcast starts. Like, what's the difference if you get filthy at the beginning or the end?
I just look. You're acting like we've been sitting here for 2 hours already when everyone knows we just sat down in the studio with
Sure.
Donna.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Not how people want to. Like, you gotta ease them into the podcast.
Right.
Jordan.
Exactly. You're right. I'm sorry.
Get the lube out first, if you're going to talk about dragon dicks.
All right, look.
You know what would ease everyone into
you
this
guys-
situation would be some questions from Twitter.
Okay, you guys have your filth show.
As
I'll be
you
outside.
may or may not know, we have a Twitter, and it's at Sailor Business. And if you tweet at us at Sailor Business with questions, even questions about crossovers, we will answer them.
I put a ban on it. I put a ban on crossover.
But
questions.
since you put a ban on it, we haven't gotten as many questions, so I'm removing the ban.
no removal of the ban. Just better questions, everybody.
All right, well, we have a few questions, which I think we can all chew over for a little while. Marielle Gage asks us, why do you think Sailor Jupiter is included with the inner Senshi? Jupiter is outside the asteroid belt, after all.
Well, I think if you are expecting to learn anything about astronomy from Sailor Moon, that is not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think it is probably because 5 is the traditional number of a Sentai.
So why not Sailor Earth?
Or Sailor Sun.
Yeah, or Sailor Sun, absolutely.
You can't see it, but I am scowling at both of you right now.
I think Sailor Sun would be interesting because she would be the arch nemesis of Sailor Moon, but they would be in the same group. So it'd be like Rei and another girl to fight with Serena.
Oh, never mind. I'm out.
So you want, as we have said, Donna was our first Usagi hater on the show, and now you're not only hating Usagi, you want 2 Reis.
Yeah, I mean, again, like realistically, the real question is, I mean, there's none of it makes that much sense. Why is there a Sailor Moon instead of a Sailor Earth? Why is the moon the most important place in the solar system? And why don't any of the other planets' moons get sailors? There's lots of moons.
Yeah, but Sailor, like Tuxedo Mask is Sailor Earth.
He is like unto Sailor Earth, but he is not actually Sailor Earth.
Just that Earthians are hot garbage. Like he represents us very well. No.
Well, so we don't have a good answer for you other than This is not a science show. It is and I don't mean Sailor Business. I mean Sailor Moon is not a science show. It doesn't.
If there is one thing that we have learned over 56 episodes of doing Sailor Moon Says at the end, it is that you can learn nothing from this show.
Is that why Jupiter is so much taller than the other girls, though? Is because Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system?
I would guess yes. Although, like, it's weird because they only do those things in very like small ways. It's like, oh, Jupiter's the biggest, so she's the biggest, and then Mars is like, well, she's red, so she's angry.
Yeah, and Venus is about the same size as Earth, so they look exactly alike.
That's weird.
And Mercury is smart?
Mercury's the smartest planet.
Really
by
into
far.
math. Lots of math.
It's an entirely
on the
math-based
Mercury.
planet. And the moon is gray and devoid of life, and no, I mean, again, it doesn't really follow anything.
Oh, you should have just committed to that joke.
But I like her too much for that. The moon is lazy and
The moon is lazy and eats a lot of snacks.
yeah, it's made
As
of
we all
cheese.
know.
Sure. I mean, is Pluto the smallest? I mean, it's the smallest planet. It's not a planet, but you know what I'm saying. Is she the smallest scout?
No, Sailor
No.
Saturn is.
Saturn is smaller. Saturn's the small
Yeah.
one, right?
But that's because she's been it's weird. Whatever.
I mean, and really, the Sailor Small Moon is the smallest. Anyway, all right. Well, hopefully that answered your question to some extent, even though it didn't really.
No, it didn't. It did not at all. There
Because
was no
reasons.
satisfactory answer.
This is a
Because-
this is a crossover one, but it's not a question. Which is Sailor Business has me convinced that the best TV crossover would be Jedi era Sailor Moon and Portlandia. That's fair.
That's okay, fine. That is not a question, so I do not feel compelled to hand down a lifetime ban.
Danielle wants to know if the scouts had to remove their outfits without reverting to civilian clothes, would that be possible without cutting?
I don't
What?
think so.
So she's saying if they wanted to take off their sailor uniforms, is it possible? Or would they have to tear them off? Yeah, like we don't see any zippers or fastenings. They seem
What
to
if
be.
you have to pee?
They transform back. They don't. They don't pee in Sailor Senshi form.
Yeah, like we've had a lot of questions about this because we've seen episodes where, like Horrible Future,
Yes.
where Greg has his pervy vision of Sailor Mercury
Getting her clothes torn off. Yes.
getting her clothes torn off, and Horrible Future. And we've also seen episodes where the scouts have been like, there's one not too long ago where Usagi gets hit so hard she turns back into Usagi and just is wearing her normal clothes, like with a jacket and a long skirt after she untransforms. So I think no, I don't, because those clothes, they do not put on those clothes. Like those clothes appear via magic made out of ribbons and feathers.
But you know what? I mean, they do definitely appear to be a one-piece outfit. So I don't think that they like can unzip them or anything like that. But at the same time, I mean, like, you know, you can take off or put on a one-piece bathing suit. Like they could. It's possible they stretch enough that they could get it out of them if they wanted to.
I don't know. It seems like there's some sort of magic torture Spanx. Like
Okay.
you could technically get out of Spanx, but is it worth it? Like, if I am wearing Spanx, I have committed to not using the bathroom today. Like that is, I will not be drinking water. Like, that is, it is just too much effort. Like this is just not happening. So maybe it's that kind of scenario where if they were desperate to change, they could, but there's never going to come a scenario where that is like they'll just transform back. I think.
Okay. So the verdict is unanimous. They cannot take off their sailor outfits without tearing them open.
no.
Okay. So now you know.
They are much like Green Lantern's uniform. They are magical constructs. They are not clothes.
Right. Chris, we were sent. I'm not sure if you saw this. We were sent a picture of Clara Bow. Do you know Clara Bow?
Yes.
We were sent a picture of her with someone holding a hamburger out and her eating a hamburger. I think intended for you.
That is such a cute picture of her.
It's pretty adorable.
That is actually really adorable.
Let's see what else we got.
I do like that we got a couple of really great pictures. We got
did.
one of the true OTP of the show which is Amy and her math book,
Yes, it is pretty
which was called Mathematics for Medical Students, which I thought was great. And we got someone doing a Flash of Two Worlds style picture, but with Usagi and Cardcaptor Sakura as the magical girls of Two Worlds, which I thought was also really, really fun.
Yep, that was really neat. Here is a question. Phil asks, Serena and Luna aren't quiet. What does the Tsukino family think is happening when Serena and Luna are talking in her bedroom?
I think they think their daughter has a lot of problems.
You think
and sometimes argues with herself as an older British woman.
You really think that's what they think? I mean, it makes sense, yeah. They just quietly think their daughter is mad.
If it was modern times, I would say they just assumed she was on the computer talking to someone, but that doesn't apply in 1992. So does Luna sound like a person to non-Sailor Scouts? Or
Yes.
does she... Okay, I was gonna say, if she just sounds like a cat, then it just sounds like Serena's turning into a crazy cat lady, but...
No, they would hear her voice. And again, to us, we think of her as a British voice, but I mean, other versions of it aren't that different. So she could just be another girl voice, but it still would be weird.
I also feel like Usagi is so loud.
Yes.
And seems like the kind of person who talks to herself a lot. Like,
Yeah.
like makes up little songs while she's doing things. And, oh, this homework's so hard. Like, even when she's alone in her room. I think it is very possible that A, the Tsukino family has soundproofed her room. Or B, they've just tuned her out. Like, it has been 14 years of this. They just quietly tune her out.
That's fair. I would actually totally believe that.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? The next question is actually super related to the one we already talked about, and we've almost already addressed it. Luke asked, what would the show be like if the Scouts were proportional in size to their planets?
So if
With a tiny little
Sailor Jupiter
Makoto.
was 30 times larger, if Sailor Jupiter was like what's like 180 times larger than Sailor Moon?
Well, no, Sailor Moon would have to be very small, too.
Yeah, like so she would be 1/6 the size of Darien.
She almost is, to be fair. And yeah,
I guess that's
and like, yeah,
guess that's
Makoto
true.
would be like Godzilla. I mean, Venus would be like normal sized.
The moon and Mercury are almost the same size.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, the moon's radius is 1,079 miles, and Mercury's radius is 1,516 miles.
You have just learned more actual astronomy than you will ever learn watching the show.
So Sailor Moon and Sailor Mercury would be relatively the same size.
What about Mars? Is Mars bigger or smaller or what?
Well, Mars is bigger than, I know it's bigger than the moon, but I think it's smaller than the Earth. Yeah, Mars is 2,106 miles across. Earth is 3,959 miles across. So, but what's Mars versus Venus? Man, Google is super useful. If you guys haven't heard of this Google thing, you should get on that.
Nice.
I think it would be a really weird show. Is the answer. Like, I think it would be I don't think it would have caught on.
Wait, now, I'm assuming it would only make sense if we're talking about post-transformation.
Yeah.
Because if Makoto just transfers to their school and is the size of a giant kaiju, it would be a little strange.
Yeah,
Venus is
she would
bigger
be
than
like,
Mars.
you don't have a uniform that fits me because I'm 300 feet tall.
You're going to have to sew all of your uniforms together, and I can wear that.
As a bikini. But no, Mars is smaller than Venus. Venus is almost the same size as Earth. It's 3,760 miles across.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
then-
look, foreshadowing, but we are going to have a discussion of the Sailor Scouts proportions in about 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. No, sooner than that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I forgot all about that. Okay, well, then let's do it. You know what? Let's not put it off. Let's do it.
All
Okay.
right. Oh, before we get into the show, everybody, just a quick reminder. Time is running low on the contest. The deadline to get those entries in is December 1st. They must be in our email by then. Everything else will go in the trash. I mean, we'll probably read them, but you will not be eligible for the contest. We are giving away, if for some reason this is your first episode of the show, we are giving away a complete set of Sailor Moon manga that includes Sailor Moon 1 through 12, the short stories 1 and 2, and Codename Sailor V 1 and 2 that the publisher Kodansha has provided us. And the rules are a one-page fan fiction in the style of an episode of Sailor Business, in that we will read the winning entry as part of the show in the first episode after the Doomtree Saga. The first, it is Rini's first appearance. It's episode 60, right?
Yes. And
So get those
and,
in.
And don't think just because you already own the series as manga that you shouldn't enter. You should. You must have friends who don't have it and who would want it, or you could donate it to your local library and share it with the entire community.
We will send it to whomever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So someone will be very weirded out when 16 volumes of Sailor Moon
within
show up
reason.
there.
Like, I'm not gonna send it to like Elvis Costello or something. Like, we're gonna within reason.
Listen, Elvis Costello, if you're out there, you have a good chance of winning this contest.
If he enters, I will. I mean, if somebody else enters and was like, I'm playing on behalf of Elvis Costello, that would be weird, is what I'm saying.
What if it was Diana Krall?
Oh, fine. If Diana Krall, okay, all right.
If anyone knows Elvis Costello and would like to enter on his behalf, please let us know in your entry.
Fine. Then I would end up with Elvis Costello's address, so that's fine.
Yes, and didn't you meet Elvis Costello recently?
Yeah, at a book signing. Like, not a real meeting, but like, yeah, it was great. He's amazing.
What, when's he doing Deadpool?
No, exactly. No. I spoke to him for all of 2 seconds, and I said, I love Get Happy so much. It's my favorite album. He was like, I like it too.
That is exactly the answer I would have expected. Anyway, get those entries in. You can email them, please, to sailorbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. And that is also where you can send in any questions for the show, any comments on the show, anything that you have that you think we would like to see can go there, or to @SailorBusiness on Twitter. But definitely those contest entries must be emailed by December 1st. So 2 weeks from when this airs, I think.
Now let's get
And
to
with
stealing
that-
a kiss from Memoru.
Steal a Kiss from Memoru ends Project Snow White.
There's so
And
many
it
things to talk
is
about.
a good one.
Yep. We kick off with a scene that I know we'll want to discuss, Chris, because it's our favorite topic of the deal with Luna and what it is.
Yes. Over a year into this, 56 episodes plus 2 bonus episodes, and we have no idea if Luna is a cat.
She is. I think she is to me. She says she jumps up on the table, finds that Usagi has fallen asleep reading romance fiction, reading Snow White.
Well, no, she's reading Snow White for homework, like you do in 8th grade.
Apparently, sure. And so she thinks she's studying, but she goes, "Oh, she's asleep," and sees that it's romantic stuff, and goes, "Someday I'll share a passionate kiss with some wonderful male cat." What? And she's
I have
hugging
two cats.
herself. Go
My
ahead.
cats make out on the regs, so I can see that.
What? Your cats make out?
Yeah, and the worst part is that they're brother and sister, so it's cat incest. But
What do you
Wait, are they
mean
the
by
children of
make
the
out?
Doom Tree?
Yeah, we have a lot of
Are your
questions
cats
here.
gathering energy from kittens?
no, they're just stealing souls from babies like normal cats.
Do you mean they just lick each other?
Yeah, no, like they'll get right up in each other's faces, and it is literally like the cat version of Frenching, where they'll like lick each other's necks, like the underside of each other's necks, and like like the boy cat will like get aggressive and like hold her down and start biting her ears. I'm just
Whoa.
like, guys, like calm the fuck down. Like, you're related, and you have no bits. You have to stop now.
That's kind of serious. So Luna hugs herself and swoons, dreaming
Yeah,
about
but, like-
kissing a cat.
Okay, but like, is
Luna-
a cat or a people? George?
She's a
Is
cat.
she a cat?
She's a cat who has been cursed with human intelligence and emotions.
But she has a human form.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not really permanent, is it? Like, that's a special situation, isn't it? We'll get there.
Look, all I know about this situation is that Luna, first of all, treated Rhett Butler very poorly.
Very true, because he is an
True.
unintelligent cat.
Also, when Artemis was like, "Hey, maybe we could get married," she threw him off a roof.
Because she's not into him. She doesn't have to get with the first cat that says hey.
All right, look.
So anyway.
That is true and correct. But I'm starting to feel like Luna's prospects for finding cats with with near human intelligence
Very-
are getting pretty slim.
They're poor. They're poor. So she's hugging herself and dancing, and she trips on a pen and falls over and sort of wakes up Usagi. And she's like, "Oh, I wonder if she was dreaming about romance." Usagi says she was dreaming about eating a huge meat bun.
Which is
That
a
is
weird metaphor
romance.
for a romance dream.
No. What did you say, Donna?
So that is her version of romance.
Yeah, that's her version. Because she's truly in love with meat buns.
Well, she was telling her lunch, "I love you, I love you, I love you," in the last episode.
That's true.
Yes, and
Because
it
of
was
her
amazing.
food fetish. So this episode.
You know what? I think both of you need a timeout.
So this is where we can just start this because this is the
Wait, did
most
we say
exciting part
the
of the
deep
episode.
name of this one? Did
Mirror,
did
mirror
say
on the wall.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Okay.
This is where we get into the real fun part of the episode, which is the fucking awful, terrible people that Alan and Anne are, and the awful, terrible relationship they have, where they live together, are together all the time, are supposedly in love, but are sitting around with each other thinking constantly about how much they want to get with another person that is not their lover.
Jordan, you are applying a lot of human morality.
No,
to
I'm
these.
not. I'm not. And the reason I can say confidently that I'm not is because you're right. If they were in a relationship where that was their understanding, then that would be their business and it would be fine. They are both hella mad about it when they find out that each other
They
is doing this.
are.
This is not a thing that has been mutually agreed upon. So they are
didn't
sitting
enter into an open relationship
Yes.
in good faith.
No. They are sitting around their living room. Anne is reading Snow White because again, I guess that's their assigned thing to be reading.
Okay,
And-
to be fair, the book that she is reading is in English.
Oh,
and
that's
I
true.
do buy that reading Snow White in English could be a reasonable homework assignment for a 8th grader.
That makes sense. That makes more sense.
in a foreign language.
That
So,
makes sense.
So they're reading it
Doesn't
in
explain
English.
why they're putting it on as a school play with an adult.
Well, it's
later,
not even
but
Not
a
a
school
school
play.
play.
Yeah, it's just well, we'll get there. We'll get there. But she's sitting there reading, to which Alan is like, "If you have time to study, you have time to steal energy."
I also like the moral that Anne learns from reading Snow White is, oh right, you should steal love by kissing someone who's asleep. That is a dubious interpretation of the
Well,
story.
or that you get someone to love you by making them kiss you in some capacity is all it
Yeah.
really is. So, but
In
no,
the-
but the point
yeah,
is,
the deep-
yeah, they're just sitting around like having a night in. And like he's like, yeah, hey, about our plans to like steal energy and like survive. And she's sitting there going, oh man, I want this other guy to kiss me. And I'm just like, what? That is fucked up. And then again, you'll find out he's doing the exact same thing constantly. They're terrible. They're awful.
They need to get alien teen divorced.
I mean, that's the thing, because right, you know what? That makes the most sense of it. If they are really just teenagers, they're just not meant to be together, or at least not this seriously yet.
So from there, we cut to the Hikawa Shrine, and it is time once again for a Sailor Moon fashion update because they are wearing the cutest outfits in this scene.
Oh man.
No, look, like they're so like Amy's outfit with the little cardigan, like in the blue dress, is so cute.
Cardigan?
No, not a cardigan, a cardigan. Although I would love to see a cardigan based on a cardigan.
Cardigan? Oh no.
Makoto is dressed for the club. Makoto is wearing essentially a very tight tank top over a turtleneck.
Yeah, that is the shortest dress ever created.
It is a
Ever.
very short dress.
Well, I mean, she lives alone with no parental supervision, so no one can tell her not to leave the house like that.
Well, her sister probably threw her out before she was finished getting dressed.
Yeah, because her little sister hates her so much. Her little sister who does not exist that
Yeah.
she was making up to try and relate to a boy.
Turtleneck, long sleeves, shortest dress humanly possible. It's a crazy outfit.
Yes, I think like Amy clearly wins the cute outfit contest.
Well, Amy's dressed
But,
for like the 50s, isn't she?
Yeah, she's wearing a dress and a cardigan.
But it's not just a dress. It's like a very poofy dress.
It's a long dress and it's very very poofy. Yes.
Yeah, it needs a poodle on it somewhere.
I believe that is an empire waist.
Is that how that works?
I have no idea.
Yeah, Empire
like,
waist is straight under the boobs and then goes down. Think about like Napoleon.
oh, like Usagi's princess dress.
Yes, that's an Empire waisted dress.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess Amy's is a little lower than that, but it's still like the waist of it is very high, and like I think it's very cute.
I'm
It's
trying
an
to
A-line.
I'm trying to see what Mina's wearing, but it's difficult because they just keep using the same shot over and over again, and it doesn't show it well.
Orange jacket, green shorts, not great, but you know what? Everybody's casual today.
But like she must have a shirt under that jacket, but I can't see it because they won't show her at any other angle than this one lousy shot. I'm
Oh, I
waiting
suppose
and
so.
waiting and waiting. Anyway, all right. So let's talk about this. They're there to talk about important news. They brought Usagi to the shrine because Darien has suffered a terrible tragedy. At which point Usagi flips out and starts crying, and they're like, "No, he was putting on a play with some friends, and they got in a fight." And all his friends left, and now he has no friends and has to put on a play.
I have a lot of questions about this.
Let's hear him.
Okay, so is Mamoru active in his local theater community? Like,
Turns out, after he was a model, he was like, "I'd like to get into acting."
he's just putting on a play with some friends.
Yep.
Also, they're doing Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
No, that not yet.
Well, I guess they're doing Snow White and the Four Fairies.
Well,
right?
no, but they're not. I think isn't that Ray's idea?
No, they were doing Shakespeare.
Well, yeah, in the Deke dub, they very specifically say they were doing a Shakespearean tragedy. They later reveal that to
Okay.
be Hamlet, and that they were going to do Hamlet.
Okay, well, let's talk about Hamlet then. 'Cause you know
Please.
how many people are in Hamlet?
They are all
You
mad.
got Hamlet.
They are
You got
all mad at Darien.
Fortinbras. You got Gertrude. You got Claudius. You got Horatio, Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern. You got pirates.
Yeah,
You
all
got
all
opening
30 members
scene,
of the
you have
cast
2 knights and a ghost.
are mad at Darien, and they all walked.
What happened? I would completely buy if they were like, yeah, everybody in the cast went into a coma at the same time because this is the Juban district.
Well, now because of that, he's having a hard time finding actors. So if we just say we want to be in it, we'll be in it. Apparently,
I do want to point one thing out.
Please.
I have mentioned on the show that one of the inspirations for this show that we do, one of the inspirations for Sailor Business was a podcast called Go Bayside, where April Richardson and a friend would watch an episode of Saved by the Bell. And she recently got through the entire series. She came back after a year to do the 2 movies, so that was very exciting. But there is an episode of Saved by the Bell about them doing their school play where they do a rap version of Snow White that is very similar to this episode.
which one came first? Who stole it, man?
I honestly don't know. Because Saved by the Bell was the early 90s, right?
Yeah, it's a tough
Yep.
call.
Let's see. Saved by the Bell, Snow White. Oh, it auto-completes to Snow White rap lyrics, if you
Nice.
look it up.
Wow.
The episode title was Snow White and the Seven Dorks.
Aired.
It aired 14th November, 1992.
That's 6
Before
months
this one.
at least. Yeah, May 29th, 1993.
But they would have been in production around the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah, it's just coincidence. Just a
Amazing.
coincidence. Sorry.
If you were looking to do a back-to-back podcast double feature, go listen to the episode of Go Bayside about Snow White and the Seven Dorks.
So here's some more important facts about the Darien situation, the Momoro situation. Guess how Ray found out about this tragedy? Darien is so upset about this play that he came to the shrine to pray about it. he came to the shrine to pray that this play that he has no cast for and is only him in this moment does well. Not only that, wait, but there's not only that, he wrote it down on a thing, and Ray, I don't know their religion very well, but I feel like this is a breach of ethics. Ray takes that prayer and shows it to everyone.
Yeah, I am not familiar with the tenets of Shintoism, but I feel like there's some very dubious stuff going on here.
Like, that just does not seem right.
So at this point, Darien has no memories of anything. He's just a dude. So he's back to just being like a creepy dude hanging out with a 14-year-old. Like,
Well-
we've completely reverted.
I mean, yes and no, in that, because he didn't ask them to hang out. They are forcing themselves on him time-wise.
Okay, does he remember he used to date Ray?
Yeah, well, that he should remember, yes. There was nothing magical about that, so he probably remembers
Does he
that.
remember his 14-year-old ex-girlfriend?
So that's where I was going with this, is if he remembers that he dated Rey, then he knows that she may be the kind of person to breach ethics and read his prayer. So was there ever a play with other people, or did he make this shit up so that he could hang out with a bunch of 14-year-old girls and make out with them?
He doesn't make out with them. That we see.
But also imagine that you are going to the theater, Jordan.
All right.
Now, well, I mean, this is easier. Like, you would not go to community theater. You're in New York. You would go to a production of something.
All right. So I'm going to a Broadway show.
Right, you're going to a Broadway show.
Yes.
It's a production of Snow White.
Of Snow White, right? Why would I do that? But all right.
It's like 7 14-year-old girls playing all the parts. There's one 14-year-old boy, and then there's a 46-year-old dude who makes sure to have some kissing scenes.
He's 20-something, and I can't tell how old they are. They're all wearing animal outfits. Anyway. I also want to mention... This at the end of this scene in the shrine, we get the first time I ever remember seeing this transition. We get the into Luna's mouth scene transition. Yeah. Luna's head appears in the middle of the screen and opens its mouth, and we dive through its mouth into the next scene of the show.
It's great. Like, this episode's great.
Yeah.
This episode's fantastic.
I don't know why that exists, but it's a ball, so I'm happy about it. And Luna looks adorable and confused about the whole situation. She's like, what? Anyway, that's fun.
I also like how Rey, who is the only member of the cast with black hair, is like, oh, let's do Snow White. Let's definitely do Snow White.
But they never even bring that up. Snow White's hair is supposed to be black.
No, they don't. But I noticed.
I did too.
Well, I did too, but I don't know if they even necessarily think of it that way, is what I'm saying. Maybe they do. So Darien is like, or Mamoru is like, oh, okay, so you guys want to be in the play? And they're like, yeah. Rey said we should do Snow White. And this is where the big fight starts.
Oh boy, I warned everybody it was coming. Listen, if you are listening to this with a child, maybe, skip this one.
No,
skip this episode.
It's not going to get graphic. I don't think. Maybe you have thoughts on this that I'm not ready for.
I am just reporting on what happens in the show.
So Rey says, yeah, since it was my idea, I think I should play Snow White. And Usagi says, what? No, I should play Snow White because I'm super cute, right? Isn't that what she says? Yeah, because I'm cute and adorable. Yeah. To which Makoto says, no, I should play Snow White because my breasts are the biggest.
What?
That is her direct quote. That is literally what she says.
I don't remember this.
That is not in the Deke dub.
No, it's absolutely what she says.
My breasts are the biggest, so I should be Snow White. And
in the new dub.
Oh, yes, what do they say?
They soften it just a little because she says she has the best proportions.
Oh, that is not what she says in the sub. She says,
but like,
my
the
breasts
subtitle
are
is,
the biggest.
My breasts are the biggest. I should be Snow White. And then later, when everyone's arguing, she goes, do you want to measure? Do you want to compare?
Yeah, she literally, like, because it's like one of those quick shots where everybody's yelling and like heads are popping in and angry, and she like forces her way into the screen, like basically boobs first, to be like, look, see. Venus says she should do it because she has the stage presence, something like that.
She says she has the elegance.
Oh, the elegance, right? And then Amy says, no, I should do it
best reasoning,
because I'm busy studying, and she spends a lot of time asleep, so I won't have to memorize lines.
Yeah,
that's
the
like
least
2
lines in the play
seconds.
go to Snow White.
No, she is not asleep for that much of the play.
Also, these are all terrible friends because they know that Darien will be Prince Charming, and they know that Serena was his girlfriend and will be his girlfriend and his wife and bear his children. Like,
yeah.
What?
They don't know the thing about children yet.
Well, they
do not know the thing about children yet.
But as 14-year-olds, they can extrapolate. Like, if she is meant to be together with him, like, that is where, like, 80% of hetero relationships go.
Yeah, they absolutely are jerks because, and then even later in the episode, there's a part where they're like, what is her problem about Usagi? And I'm like, what is her problem? Her problem is that's her destined lover who doesn't know that he's her destined lover, and there's another girl trying to kiss him. Why are you people so obtuse about this? It's pretty straightforward.
And I like how Mamoru's reaction to this is like, I mean, there are other characters, guys. Like the prince. Like, that's his first one he says. Like, yeah, why don't you play the prince, Usagi? like the prince and the horrible old queen.
So Naru and Umino pop in just to be like, you guys are also mean and terrible, but also we'll be in the play. And
Accurate.
and
Very
then
accurate.
and then Anne shows up, and Anne says, I also want to be in the play, and I've got a solution for all this. All we have to do is draw straws, which I have prepared for us.
All we have to do is do the most easily rigged game ever.
Not to mention, does no one have any theater experience? Like, there's a little thing called auditions. Like, do you think they're like, all right, well, let's just draw straws? Oh, damn.
Yeah, but I mean, look, this
The
is a
worst actor
production-
got the lead role.
This is a play. This is a play that is about to be performed in public in like 2 days, and they don't know what the play is going to be yet.
Right. And in the Deke
This
dub,
production's fucked from Jump Street.
right,
Jordan.
and like in the Deke dub, they were like, we're gonna put on Hamlet. I mean Snow White. That's slight change of plans. Instead of Hamlet, we'll still honor your Hamlet tickets, but you're gonna be seeing Snow White.
But you're going to be seeing a bunch of middle schoolers performing Snow White with a 51-year-old man.
He's 21. So they draw straws. She says one of them is red, a bunch of them are blue, and one of them is white. The red one will be the evil queen. The white one will be Snow White. Everybody else will be, well, the fairies. In the Japanese one, it says fairies. Apparently, Snow
Yeah, they
White,
keep saying fairies, and then
Snow
they
White and
later
the Seven
become
Fairies.
animals.
who become woodland creatures. Well, if
And the
that,
book
if
they
that.
were reading very clearly says Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
So maybe they mistranslate. They're not good at English. They mistranslated dwarves into fairies. Anyway, so they're going to draw straws. Serena goes first. She draws red. She's the evil queen.
Which I did not realize at first was going to be a problem, because in the Snow White Disney version, you know, the evil queen's the second hottest person in the country. So,
Yes.
I mean,
Well, I think she still is in all versions. It's just that then she disguises herself as an ugly queen,
Right.
ugly witch lady. So you're right. Like most of the play, she
I-
should be walking around glamorous and looking amazing.
I briefly got very excited because I just kind of assumed that Usagi was going to dress as Queen Beryl,
oh my god,
For
that
her
would be
role as the
so
evil
much
queen.
better.
which would have been amazing.
Oh, that would have been. They missed out. They missed out on that. That would have been the best. She draws the red one. Then everybody else goes simultaneously at the exact same time, and they all draw blue, meaning they all drew fairies. And then in the most easiest, obvious trick in the universe,
Yeah, Natsumi just draws the paper that is half an inch shorter than everyone else's.
yeah, she just tears off the blue end and goes, "Yeah, mine's white."
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit about that in a scene shortly. So I guess we'll let it go.
Are we going to talk about how little sense that makes now and later?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it a little more later because they don't notice. They go, "Oh, she won. I guess she's fine." The end of that for now.
So back at the apartment/dimensional pocket where the Doom Tree lives, Anne informs Alan that she is going to be in a play and she's very excited about it, and then vanishes. And Alan is like, "Fuck that."
Well, she says you could be in it. We got a fairy/dwarf if you want to be in it. And he's like, "I want to be the prince." She's like, "We got a prince.
What did he say, Jordan? Can you give me that one more time?
I want to be the prince."
I want to be the prince.
Well, it's
Which,
true.
you know, if she wasn't 14 and could put two and two together for a second, she might have thought that he was saying he wants to be the prince because she's Snow White. But no, everyone's an idiot. So
Yeah. Yeah, you can be if you're the prince and then we get to kiss and we, I mean, whatever. Again, they don't care. She's like, "I kiss you all the time."
God, I hope that's what she sounds like during sex.
So
So this is unusual. Alan draws himself a card. He never has done
And-
that before.
it's by Pierrot.
Yeah, it's this weird clown monster.
It's Pierrot, but be Pierrot.
In the Deke, they just call it Pierrot.
Okay, fair. They didn't call it like clowny
No,
or
no, just Pierrot.
mimey or whatever awful what is it, clown face?
Although here's the thing, like you said, like this goes up in 2 days or whatever. In the Deke dub, they very clearly say a week, but even that is weird because then what happens is Alan draws this card and says to the Guardian, "A week from now, there's going to be a play I want you to disrupt. Until then, chill." Like I don't.
Yeah, until then, I guess just hang out and try to avoid my girlfriend who also lives here.
But does this also mean this will be the Cardian that has the most sense of self? And like sentience. It lives among humans for a whole week.
Sure, it's busking on the street, making a living.
Natsumi is calling Anne, or calling Alan, going, "Hey, can I put a sheet over the clown statue? It's really freaking me out." He's like, I didn't summon a clown statue."
So we leave the clown to its own
Also,
businesses.
This some next level terrible boyfriend shit is planning to wreck this performance a week in advance.
Yes, a week in
What an
advance.
asshole.
He's like, let's fuck this shit up. Somebody else is gonna kiss my girlfriend. Fuck that.
I
So
told
Serena-
you.
I feel like Serena would respect that, though.
yeah,
as
sure.
It's a terrible girlfriend. They deserve each other.
Listen, parents, I told you to skip this one. I told you. It is late in the evening. I'm on my third cup of coffee, and the cusses are happening. So we cut to the
yes.
rehearsal space,
Rehearsing.
where everyone is wearing their acting clothes, and this is great. I love their acting outfits.
I like how Anne is basically on the casting couch.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's lying on the bench. Well, she's in like totally a workout outfit. I mean, Darian.
She's in like dance gear.
Yeah. And Darian is in that's his like jogging outfit or something.
That's
Haven't we
his
seen it
exercise
before? Yeah,
outfit.
we've seen it, I think.
It's his 3-layered shirt that he wears to jog.
And by the way,
Minako is-
there's no director. There's nobody giving them instructions. There's no organization here. It's just Anne is the lead actress, so she tells everyone what to do, and they have no choice but to listen, I suppose, because she's the most important person in the room.
Okay, look, Jordan, look, we know the person who wrote the novelizations of Sailor Moon.
Yes.
She's been on the show, Leanne Centaur. She's great. She was one of the best guests we've had. How much do you think it would take to commission her to write the backstory of this episode, where Mamoru gets in a fight with the cast of Hamlet to the point where they walk out on a show that is set to open next week?
I'm telling you, this never happened. Now Darian is in a room with a casting couch with a bevy of 14-year-old girls who all want to make out with him. He is a predator and he must be stopped.
He doesn't think Umino is a threat, which is fair. So he's like, fine, I'll let that one guy be in this show.
I mean, look, even I wouldn't choose Umino over Mamoru.
Okay, but you want me to ruin the setup of this show? Tell me what world exists where Ray allows this to happen and isn't like, I'm directing this show, let's all whip this into shape.
Yeah. How is Ray not like, I am the director?
Yeah. How
I'm
that's
I'm
crazy.
the director producer.
One of us just put on a festival, okay? Anybody raise your hand if you just put on a festival single-handedly. Oh, nobody else? All right, I'll take care of this. That's what she's saying. So what actually happens is Anne is lying on a bench going, all right, Snow White's asleep, and the prince comes up and kisses her passionately. Let's rehearse it again.
Makes out with her.
While everyone watches.
Yeah, while
which is like the biggest mean girl shit I have ever seen in my entire life. I'm gonna make the boy you like make out with me in front of you and your friends.
And then your direction is applaud and smile. So
My
he
favorite part is that she can't resist pulling him in, and he goes, "No, that's not how we're doing it. You're supposed to be asleep." And then Makoto just goes, "Can we please practice something else?"
Yeah, I mean, she's about to get the kiss she's been wanting. Leaning in, he's about to kiss her, and she screws it up by being like, yeah, and like grabbing him and like trying to like wrestle him to the kiss. And he's like, whoa. But again, this is the thing. It starts with them going, let's do it again. Did they do it or not? Have they not kissed yet? Because I'll tell you, in a moment we're going to be at opening night, and she's going to still be like, oh man, I hope I can steal that kiss. And I'm like, did they never rehearse that scene yet? Are they still never kissed? What has happened?
Rehearsal ends. Mamoru goes to leave, and it's like, "Thanks, Mamoru," even though he has done nothing.
Yeah.
Natsumi goes, "Since we're playing lovers, we should get to know each other," and they walk off together.
Which,
And
Never to be seen again.
but that even makes less sense because unless I'm mistaken about the story of Snow White, they don't know each other.
No, they don't.
They getting to know each other
I
makes
did not
less
think
sense.
about that, but that is a good point.
They literally meet when he kisses her.
But I would like to point out that Darian does opt to go home with the slutty 14-year-old.
She's breaking him down.
Where do they go? Like, where do you think they go? Does
Malt
she just walk
shop.
him home? Did they go to what was the name of the restaurant?
There's been a million, I don't remember.
No,
Pops.
they go
Go to
back
Cafe
to Anne's
Noah?
apartment. go back to Anne's apartment, and he's like, "What's with the creepy clown statue?"
Welcome to my apartment. That's the clown statue. That's the hell tree. And let me just go put on some flute music from the next room.
Alan, just keep playing. What?
So she leaves, and immediately Minako like blows the whole thing. Minako's like, "Yeah, I can't believe she cheated." And
What?
Usagi is the only one who has not realized this, to the point where Makoto has to pull out the straw and explain how she did it.
But okay, worse. But but they're all so okay with it. They literally basically say, if you care enough about getting this part to cheat for it, you deserve to get it.
I wrote it down because there's a thing that they say as though it is an old saying.
Okay, let's hear
Which
it.
is like, they're like, "Hey, you know what they say? The more selfish the actress, the better the acting." And I'm like, I don't think that's true. Like, that is in fact the opposite of how acting works.
Yeah, and then they give their secondary reason, which is, well, we are all good friends, and, you know, if one of us got it over the others, then we'd all be jealous with each other, and it would cause a rift, and basically we don't give a fuck about Anne, so, like, she can have it, and we can all hate her.
Well, and in the
Amy.
Deke version, that's not what happens, though. In the Deke version, they're like, she hasn't had any friends since
Right.
she moved here, so she's lonely, and we should, like, support her cheating so that maybe she'll become a better person, because that's how that works.
Amy says that in the Japanese version. Amy does say, yeah, ever since Natsumi moved here, she hasn't had a whole lot of friends.
Sure.
But also, Natsumi has been hanging out with them on the reg. Like, Natsumi
they're like,
went to a picnic and then talked about how she doesn't eat. She only subsists on life energy from the Makai tree, and nobody said anything about that.
Yeah, but they're just like, yeah, but we're not friends. Are you friends with her? Oh, no.
You can't sit with us.
Oh,
but,
poor
like,
Anne.
The point where they're like, oh, we would have all fought and been jealous over each other if one of us had gotten the parts. Like, because you're all terrible friends.
Yes.
Yeah, they really are.
I mean, again,
Like, that is exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
yeah, that's why you have auditions and they decide who gets the part, and it's not a thing you have to do by group consensus.
What, with what director who's
Well, there you
conducting
go.
these auditions? Because look, if there was like, even the producers of this show realized, hey, we can't have a scene where Mamoru brings all the girls into the office one by one and kisses them on the sofa. You cannot do that.
Yuck. Anyway, so they reveal that she cheated, and then Usagi is like, then we are calling her out. We are going right up in her face and being like, you cheated and that's not right. She says she's going to do it. She's going to do it herself the next day.
Well, first, Natsumi goes to the shrine.
Well, that's when Usagi says she's going to do it, and then they coincidentally see Natsumi going up the shrine. So they're like, all right, you know what? I'm going to do it right now. Let's go. I'll just walk up there and tell her.
And they see Natsumi, again, a lot of spying on prayers in this. That's some shit they kept from Hamlet.
There you go. Yeah.
A lot of spying on prayers.
Wow, this is deep, man.
They see her going, oh, please let this play go off. And then we get, like, her internal monologue, and according to the subtitles, what she's saying is, please allow me to steal Mamoru's lips. Which is a very good description of a kiss from an alien unfamiliar with Earth culture.
Which brings up a good point, though. Why do these aliens want to bone humans so badly? Why do they even find them attractive?
It's their weird exotic fetish. They're like, oh.
Yeah, but I mean, look, they are, like, look at them. Like, every monster on this show is humanoid. Like, all those underground rock people were just really pretty humans.
Yeah. Well, I guess, like, what he was saying is about their exotic. Humans think elves are hot. So I guess it's, like, the same thing where elven aliens think that humans are hot. Whatever. Fine. I'll allow it.
So yeah, they decide, well, because she prayed that the play was good, we won't ruin the play by revealing that we know she cheated to get the role. And okay, dumb, but all right. And Usagi's like, yeah, I don't like that she gets to kiss Mamoru, but fine. What? All right.
So the next day, suddenly this play has mascot costumes.
They're all dressed. Okay, they're all dressed as animals. They're dancing around in the Japanese version, singing a song. In the Deke version, like saying lines, holding
They're
apples.
singing in the new dub too.
Why are they all have apples? That's not how Snow White goes, but all right. They all have
It's
apples.
a musical number.
Okay.
Jordan.
All right.
Like, wait, it's the, like, okay, look, there's an apple in Snow White. There's not a gorilla. There's not an elephant.
Yeah, but
in Snow
the
White.
dwarves don't all grab a bunch of apples. It's fine. You're right. I'm going too far.
And we see Usagi in her evil queen costume.
Gross. Her like evil, gross witch costume.
Yeah,
So
which
it's the later
sadly
part.
is not dressed exactly like Queen Beryl, which would have been amazing.
Oh man, real quick though, the first time you see her in that costume, when Anne is like, "That's the best you've ever looked," it's like,
Oh, ow, Jesus.
Yep. She is a jerk.
I do want to point out that we still have kind of a debate on how to pronounce Serena's Japanese name. In the new dub, Anne calls her Tsukino and clearly pronounces it Tsukino, 3 syllables, not Skino, as we have been told it is properly pronounced. So I am absolving myself of any pronunciation errors
Yay! Me too.
because, and I'm going to go with Tsukino.
I'm just calling her Serena, and you can't stop me.
Yeah, that's
Wouldn't
fine by
dream
me.
of it.
Next, we get a scene, kind of adorable, of Anne at home making out with a pillow.
I
Pretending
love
it's
that she's in her costume from the play, but
Yep.
she's in her alien form.
Yep.
well, why not? She's at home. She doesn't have to look like anyone but herself.
Yep. Smooching a and is like, what are you doing? Making out with a pillow? Shut up.
This is private.
Do I come bother you when you need alone time with the flute?
But again, this is another scene of them being total assholes. She's lying on a bed, imagining making out with Mamoru. He looks over, sees their little drawing of romance, and goes, "Oh yeah, I could make out with Serena. That would be pretty great." And she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Nothing. What? Nothing."
The hand-drawn cover to her script.
Yes. It's terrible. They're just awful people to each other.
Yeah. And then he leaves the room. He's like, "Man, I wish I was the prince and Serena was my princess." And I'm like, what is wrong with everyone? All of you are terrible people.
So Serena is getting ready for the thing. It's probably just the way this shot is drawn, but I immediately thought, why is she wearing the like Talking Heads giant pajamas?
Yeah,
Because
I was gonna mention that.
they are enormous pajamas.
She has gotten a new set of pajamas, and they are gigantic. These are not the pajamas we have seen her in previously.
No, they're huge. And she's rehearsing the lines about being the second most beautiful.
And Shingo's being a dick
As
about
always.
it, as always.
As brothers do.
He's gonna go to the play. He's gonna hate watch her play, basically,
Yeah.
to make fun of her.
Without his parents, as far as I can tell.
Yeah. They don't
No.
show up.
Mama and Papa are not in attendance.
There's a huge crowd though, because now we cut to the next day. It's time for the thing. They're looking out. There's a pretty big crowd. They're all in their mascot uniforms.
Everybody's there to see Hamlet,
Yes, they're
bad.
ready for Hamlet, Snow White.
performed by former Calvin Klein model Mamoru Chiba and his friend Motoki, who he alienated.
You think it was Motoki that they had to fight with?
Have we ever seen Mamoru's other friends?
Well,
have
we
we ever seen
haven't.
Mamoru interacting with anyone else?
No. Well, except for his girlfriend, whatever her name was. But she's in Africa, so not her.
Yeah, it was going to be a 2-man performance of Hamlet with Motoki and Mamoru. That's what I am choosing to believe.
So the curtain goes up. Again, the crew to this show, God bless them. My guess is that the crew didn't have actually time to rehearse. And so Mamoru just got like professionals to come in and was like, you'll get it. Like
Yeah, hey,
when stuff
everybody,
happens.
just watch me for the changes.
Yeah, exactly. When stuff happens on stage, point the fucking lights at it. That's how you do it. So the curtain goes up. There's a weird clown standing on top of a castle. All the lights go boo right onto the clown. I guess this is how the play starts. The clown looks up, says its name, and then destroys the castle. And people in the audience are going, wow, they're kicking off the play by destroying the set. That's awesome.
Yeah, Shingo being so stoked about this, like what? They're like fucking up the whole set. Like first thing in the play, we're getting unicycle backflips tearing down this castle.
Like you fuck up the set like 3/4 of the way into the play. Usually, you don't start with it. That's mind blowing.
This is some avant-garde next level shit.
Shingo is a true student of the theater.
Then the next act of the show is Snow White runs out onto stage and says, "Don't ruin our play." and then gets
Also, I
hit
gotta
by a
say-
giant ball.
I gotta say, if I went to go see a play and they were like, okay, we were gonna do Hamlet, now we're doing Snow White, and I like went in there and there was a clown on a unicycle doing backflips, tearing shit up, I'd be like, yeah, this makes sense. This is how this felt like it was gonna go.
It's so good. So the clown is kicking everybody's butt. The clown is throwing the mascots around into a giant pile.
And Melvin
first
is like,
thing-
Molly, we gotta get out of here.
Okay, the first thing that BPRO does is throw a clown nose that becomes giant and
Yeah.
knocks Natsumi into Mamoru.
Yeah.
And bonks them both on the head. But yes, Donna, I wrote that down in my notes because Melvin immediately goes, okay, we gotta get Naru the fuck out of here. Like, he knows exactly what's up.
He's seen this shit before. He knows how this goes down.
This is the one moment that kind of redeems their entire relationship where he's like, Naru, we're leaving.
But then it doesn't matter. They get knocked into the audience anyway.
Well, and it actually he trips and knocks her over into all
Yeah.
the Sailor Scouts, and that's why they all can't get up to fight the monster. Did we see Luna already? There was a point where we see Luna react, and I'm like, "What? Luna is just watching the show? All right," which is fine. That's the way Luna is. It's just weird that a cat is at a show. So Serena stands up. She was wearing a full outfit under the costume, so she can do Sailor Moon transformation just off the side of the stage. Like
I
it
would
kind
rather-
of.
How much better would it have been if they animated the first part of her transformation sequence with her in a mascot costume?
Yes.
Or the lines on her face, all the old age lines and stuff. Yeah, would have been great. It would have been great, but sadly, no. No, she does it in the wings, so they don't get to see her transform, thankfully, because there is an entire audience.
And then Shingo's like, wait a second, is this a play about Sailor Moon
Yeah, because Sailor Moon jumps on the stage and confronts the monster.
that I know my sister is in?
And they have the exact same hair and look exactly the same.
Yeah, but she said she was playing an evil witch, so this can't be her.
No. Although this is the best interpretation of Snow White I think anyone has ever seen at this point.
Wait, but also let's talk about Sailor Moon coming onto the stage, because again, Sailor Moon does not run onto the stage and go, "Fuck you, monster, let's do this." Sailor Moon transforms, radios the light crew in the booth, and goes, "Give me the number 2." Goes
I'm
under the
gonna rise up
stage.
from the
Exactly.
trapdoor.
Goes under the stage, the trapdoor, activates it, and rises into view in a spotlight. She has a flair for the dramatic.
All of the scouts get amazing introductions.
This is a crazy part. This is
Yeah,
a
like-
crazy part.
I just want to read out all of the scouts' introductions because Usagi's is just like, "How dare you interfere with these actors putting on their play? Unforgivable." Blah blah blah. You know, hers is very normal, and then everyone else shows up. Well, then fucking Moonlight Knight shows up, and no one cares.
No, hold on,
It's
because
garbage.
Moonlight Knight says, "All young girls know who I am." Which I was like,
Whoa.
why does he say
Whoa.
that?
No.
I don't know who you are, but all young girls know who I am.
It sounds like he's confessing to a series of terrible crimes.
Yes. It's a terrible thing to say. That is not what you want to show up and say. It's not Snow
So-
White. It's a play about Sailor Moon.
Yeah, which again, shit. Like I love that they did put in Shingo for his reactions to this.
Yes. So
All
give us
others
their
catch up.
intros.
Mars says, "The flames of passion and the 9 mudras, destroying evil with the power of prayer." And then it pulls back, "Wearing red heels, I am Sailor Mars." Of that is her saying, "I do it all in red heels." Makoto's is, "I was born with this ability. I am Sailor Jupiter." And the dub version is her going, is her saying that she was born with incredible strength, which I think is better.
Let's
Then
hear
we
this
get
one.
Amy's, which is the best,
No, AKA the worst. Go on.
aka the best.
Let's hear it.
"I can handle cram school and studying. I am always reading reference books. I'm number 1 in the national practice test."
I just gave away my secret identity.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Everybody in the audience goes, "Number 1 in the that's Amy."
But they also know, like, presumably they can
That's
look at their
Mizuno-san.
playbills. Like, presumably they can look at their playbills and say, like, "Oh, I know Ami Mizuno was in this play.
This
so
is
I
not
guess
a
she's
play,
celebrating-
Chris. This is not
Yeah,
a
but
play
everybody
anymore.
thinks it is. Everyone thinks it's a play.
There were no billfolds for this. Don't lie to yourself.
I just want to say that when Ami says her line about how she's always reading reference books, she produces a math book
Yes.
and dramatically moves it across her face, and it's the best thing.
Is it the math book from the fan art?
No,
No,
I wish.
it
She's
was.
cheating on her math book? What a whore.
Hey, that's
She's cheating on Sailor Jupiter. Anyway, let's hear Sailor V's.
Minako says, "I was once a masked legend. My true face is quite stunning. I'm the last pretty guardian to appear," and introduces herself as Sailor Venus. Which again, like, hey, by the way, I was Sailor V.
Sure, we're
almost
on the
here to-
scene. So because I guess again, because they do that because it's a play, right? Like they're like, well, we're on a stage, we might as well do this in the most dramatic way possible.
Sure, let's go with that.
And then they use their new powers. Mars doesn't use her new power. That's right. I was
Mars
expecting her to
uses
use her
her,
new power. She uses her old one.
Her spirit tag.
Amy uses her new power because she put off
Pluto.
studying to memorize her lines, and so she's mad.
Yes!
She could have read 3 books in that time.
Amazing.
And she uses her useful attack, bubble spray freezing, unlike
is like
her useless attack.
Stealth, the best Amy episode.
She has 2 lines.
Yeah, but they're great. Like she's like, I should be Snow White because she's asleep a lot, and so I wouldn't have to memorize as many lines as all of you. And also, I could have read 3 books. And also, I always carry my math book even when I am transformed.
And
Where?
Yes, good question. So then,
Same place the Moonstick is.
yeah.
God.
While the monster's frozen, Sailor Moon halations it, blows it away, cleansing. And again, the audience is going, these are amazing special effects in this shitty community theater production of Snow White.
Everybody's really stoked about this complete 4-minute play they just saw.
Yes. The beauty of these young girls is in the spotlight, says Moonlight Knight. Adieu. And again, the crew sees his signal and pulls the ropes so that he's risen up into the rafters and disappears.
I'd like to see what the crew thought of whatever was happening.
And again, everybody's like, wow, what a great play. We need an encore. It has been 4 minutes since the curtain went up.
I think if you saw the crew, I think they would do one of these like New York union crews. They're just like, hey, it's a living. And then they're just pulling on the ropes. I don't ask questions. I just do the curtain.
Whatever, this is community theater. It's like somebody's 12-year-old nephew.
So yes, they're all yelling for encores, and the Sailor Scouts are smiling and waving glamorously as though, yes, we love the attention. This was not a fight to the death that we just murdered a monster.
Quick question,
Please.
though. Quick question. Where was Natsumi during all this? Does she get knocked out?
That's a great question. Oh,
Or did she just quietly watch everyone transform?
No, dude. She's on top of Mamoru. Don't forget.
Ugh.
She's
So
rolling
I
around
guess
backstage.
She's occupied.
She's
Yeah,
rolling around backstage
she's-
with Mamoru.
Now that the creepy clown isn't watching them, I mean,
Although, that being said, obviously nothing happened because next thing we see is her literally crying because Alan ruined her play.
yeah. Because he's a dick boyfriend.
Yes, he's a terrible boyfriend. She practiced so hard and he sent a Cardian. Did you forget that our duty is to gather energy? He says.
Oh, right. The Cardian did try to get energy from the audience for like
2
0.2
seconds.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before Sailor Moon came up from the trapdoor.
Yeah.
The end of the episode is Natsumi or Anne in her room at the apartment crying about how her shitty boyfriend ruined her entire, it ruined her play.
Her scheme.
And also her plan to make out with a 39-year-old man.
21.
Still, you keep saying that that makes it better.
It's a little better.
What? No. My son is
No.
14, and if he came home with a 21-year-old girl, I would immediately call the police.
But if he had a crush on a 21-year-old girl, you wouldn't be like, that's crazy. If he had a crush on a 39-year-old woman, you might be like, this is weird.
But the fact is that he reciprocates Serena's feelings.
Well, yes, that's okay.
It's
Sure,
not-
yes.
she was
Also, they're destined moon lovers.
Yes, true. Yes, okay. So,
I feel like we were maybe meant to learn something that we did not actually learn. So please, do you have the Sailor Moon says for this episode
Absolutely.
queued up for
It's
Mirror, Mirror on the
A
Wall?
very important lesson that I hope we all learned.
Anne cheated so she'd get to play Snow White. I bet you know people who cheat in little ways. Glancing at somebody else's homework? Or stealing small things that don't cost much? But cheating is cheating is cheating, no matter how small. And if you cheat and steal in little ways, sooner or later you may very well cheat and steal in bigger, more serious ways. So listen, don't cheat or steal. Do you know who really loses out most of all when you do that? You do. Sailor Moon says...
Not the moral I would ascribe to this show.
No, it wasn't all about cheating.
No. Also, hasn't Usagi attempted to cheat at things before?
Well,
Didn't she try to cheat at the wedding dress designing competition?
Oh, did she? What did she do?
I do not remember. I just know she wanted to make a dress out of curtains for some ungodly
I know
reason.
Ray definitely cheated on that
Yeah, Ray won a cruise.
lottery. Yes.
Yeah, cheating always prospers in this series.
So I guess we did not learn that lesson, but what did we learn? It's time for Sailor Business Says. Donna, we will start with you. What did you learn from this episode?
I learned that if you cheat, people will feel sorry for you and let you get away with it forever.
Yeah.
Because you don't have friends.
Yeah.
Because you move around a lot. You don't have
Yeah,
friends.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, if you're out there and you're a loner, just cheat at everything and nothing bad will happen. People will feel sorry for you and you'll just get what you want. That's the takeaway I got there.
That's literally the lesson from the episode. So I can't blame you. I also did learn that the larger the breast, the larger the talent.
I learned that Jordan thinks it's totally okay for a 21-year-old to date a 14-year-old.
I didn't say.
But if you're like 39, that's ridiculous.
Oh man, I didn't make out good in this episode.
Nobody made out
neither
in
did
this
Anne.
episode.
Terrible.
No, but this one
Was great.
is great. This
Yep.
episode is fantastic. This is kind of everything I love about Sailor Moon. Like we talked last week about how Alan and Anne are great as shitty teens, and this is them at their most shitty and their most teens.
Yes.
Yeah, Alan just, I mean, he is quote unquote right in that their supposed overall goal is about energy and not fitting in and not getting boyfriends and girlfriends. But then we do find out, yeah, he really just did it all because he's a jealous dick and he wants to kiss people.
And it's not even that he doesn't want Anne to kiss people. Like, he's not jealous that
No.
Anne is going to kiss Tuxedo, or Darien, Tuxedo Mouse, whatever he is. Whoever that guy is that's making out with all the 14-year-olds.
No, he's just like, I want to be making out. What? Why do you get to make out? I want to make out.
But not with you.
Oh, this was a really good one.
It's fun. It's again, I don't know if the director was the same as the last one, but both of these last two episodes have had some really, really fun visuals and like slapstick visual stuff that's just great. Like great faces and everything. I love they did not have to put Shingo in the crowd, but having him there with his reaction being like, wait, are they tearing up the set? Wait, is this a play about Sailor Moon? Is so fun. It adds so much to the climax of the show.
The director was Norio Sasaki, and this was actually his first episode.
Wow. Well, this one was really, really great.
I said it last week, and I'll say it again. I would have watched an entire spinoff show that was just about, like, L&M terrible teens. Like, it's all of the angsty drama that fanfic is made of. It just... two people that think they hate each other but really love each other, but like we're gonna be shitty to each other for 5 seasons before we figure it out. I would have watched the hell out of that.
Yeah, it would have been great. That would be a really good one. I mean, and it could be done. What happens to them at the end of the show? They don't die, right? They get redeemed. So they could just move to some other school and be shitty to each other there.
No, I mean, I guess I shouldn't ask because we will eventually get there.
We'll get there
but,
soon.
They don't the Black Moon Clan all get turned into like regular people and literally go live in an apartment together.
Yeah.
But do Alan and Anne do they get turned normal or do they just like go out to space or what?
I don't remember.
I do not remember.
We're very close though. We're on what, 56 and it's 59 is the last one. So
Yes.
So we're very close. We'll find out very soon. Everybody should watch this one. I think this is a highly recommended one. We all like it.
Yeah. I would say even if you're one of those people who mysteriously is listening to this show and not watching Sailor Moon. Like, this is an episode that if you like this show, if you like Sailor Business, that you will get a kick out of this episode because it's exactly what we make the show out to be. It's goofy and ridiculous in all of our favorite ways.
Agreed. So, Donna, thank you again for being on our show. Where can people find you on the internet?
The internet? What's that? No. You can find my professional work at hitfix.com/harpy, which is HITFIX. I know people think it's flicks, but it's fix. We're going to fix the hits. I don't know. And then on social media, you can find me on Twitter at mildly amused.
I'm on Twitter at crackshot with a 0 for an O. Our production/editing guy for this program is at JJ_Mason. And he also has a podcast called The Morphin Grid about the Power Rangers.
I don't think you mentioned that in last week's episode.
I didn't.
Or maybe you did after it was edited.
Well, either way, depending on whether he slipped it in. But I apologize. But yes, you should check it out.
I am able to be found by just going to about.me/Chris Sims. That's CHRISSIMS. And there's links there to Twitter, Tumblr, my day job. I did take some more screenshots for these episodes. I haven't done them in the past few weeks. So hopefully I will be putting those up on Tumblr as the episodes go up. Also, if you like me and Jordan, X-Men 92 is still available on Comixology and some other things that I've written around there, so check that out. Don't forget to follow this show at Sailor Business on Twitter and talk to us there. That's a great way to reach us with any of your Sailor Moon fan fiction, any fan art